Hey guys, so in this video, we're going to talk about the deadly resistance that stops you from changing your habits daily. Now, this concept comes from a book called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, and he basically explains that reality of that all of us have to face on a daily basis. Whenever we want to achieve something meaningful in our lives, there is always this called resistance that is trying to pull us away from it. And that can appear in multiple forms in our lives. It can come in the form of procrastination, doubts, fears, etc. So imagine you are trying to write daily. That's the common example mentioned in the book. Now, if you have to write every day, and if you wait for inspiration to be able to write, you will never become, most likely, a successful writer. What you have to do is simply to overcome that initial resistance that everybody faces on a daily basis in order to start writing, and the process of starting to write will inspire you to continue writing, and that will provide you inspiration. And so this resistance can come in multiple forms. A very common one is procrastination. And according to Dr. Pierre Steele, a psychologist at the University of Calgary and one of the leading experts on procrastination in the world, he says that the real reason why you procrastinate is because you exhibit a lack of self-control, which manifests as increased impulsiveness. So procrastination is a form of impulsiveness and of not being able to delay gratification. And that is resistance. That is not being able to overcome that resistance, which is uh, instant gratification, which is such a plague nowadays in our society. Other forms of resistance are fear and doubts. So these are very common in our day-to-day lives, because whenever we want to achieve something out of the norm, or even something that will make our lives better or keep our lives steady, there will most likely be fears and doubts in our way to achieve that. But this is also a form of resistance. This is your mind telling you that you shouldn't do something and go back to your status quo because you won't make it, or because somebody will judge you, or because you will work too hard and you won't have the life that you want. And so it is important to make sure that you combat these resistances so that you achieve your goals in spite of all this force against you. How does this resistance affect habit changing? This usually comes in the process of habit changing at a later stage. So in the first few weeks, or the first week, or the first few days, your motivation usually will be sky high because you just had a trigger event, something that propelled you to change the habit. You set out a challenge, and now you're starting to accomplish it, which makes you feel good and makes you show up every day and complete it. The problem comes in the middle stage and later stage. There will be a certain point where all that motivation will start to slow down, and that's when the voice of resistance will come in much stronger. At the beginning, the voice will be very soft, very low, and it will be easily overcome. But it will get stronger over time, and some days it will be stronger than others. So that's where resistance comes in, and that's when you need to make sure that the process that you set out for yourself is completed in spite of that resistance. So sometimes as you make your habits harder, you will require more of your willpower, and you will push your willpower to its limits. And so whenever your willpower decreases, your ability to overcome resistance also decreases. So you need to be aware of that, which will help you overcome the resistance and help you understand that even in the points of weakness, you can overcome resistance as long as you're aware of it and you take the right step afterwards. So here are some examples of a form of resistance. Imagine you're trying to exercise every day for 5 minutes on your first 30 days as a challenge. Resistance may come up when, for example, you have not eliminated friction from performing the habit. So if you want to go to the gym after work and you don't have your clothes in your bag at work, and you have to go home first to go to the gym, you increase a lot of time that will incite you to not go to the gym. And that resistance will be telling you, oh, but now it's too late and you have to go home. So there's a lot of steps that you have to do in between to reach your goal. So that's a form of resistance. Another is, for example, when you're trying to quit something that has physical effect on you, right? So if you're dependent on caffeine, on smoking, on sugar, these addictions are dangerous, not only because they're a habit instilled in you and they have a reward, but also because each of them has properties that affect your brain and the way you think about it when you are not consuming these substances. So for example, in the case of sugar, if you are used to eating sugar all the time and on a daily basis, if you stop eating sugar suddenly and you go cold turkey, you will start perhaps shaking or feel the need to have sugar, and you'll have to go through a withdrawal period and to make it to the other side and install a new habit. That is the same with smoking, and it is the same with drinking and any other substances that affect your brain. The good news is that once you go through that withdrawal period where you feel, frankly, quite bad, you will be able to come out better on the other side, and that those feelings won't be there anymore and will be substituted by dopamine and by the new habit, and a new habit will be instilled in your brain. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to reply to this email or comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll make sure to follow up with you and try to answer all of your questions. Also, if you're a bit lost in all this process of changing your habits and changing your life, and if you want a step-by-step process with somebody guiding you by the hand, and as well a community that will support you, I encourage you to go down below or click on the link to go to our Facebook group and join us. It is a community where we offer a group of people that are motivated to change their lives and change their habits. I offer personal coaching for free inside of the community anytime you want, if you want to have a call with me. And you have updated content on how to change your habits and the 3-step process onto doing so, interviews and other videos that are added on every month. Either way, see you on the next video.